Hello, everybody. We are going to dive into another mix today. This song is called Ginobili by my friend Guwop. Super dope song. I just got hip to him recently. Started mixing for him. He's super fire. So go check him out. It's Guwop. But dope. Let's dive into it. First, I'll go ahead and play the song so you can hear how the mixing sounds. You can decide if it's something that you want to pursue. If not, I appreciate your time regardless. So here we go. I'll take it a little bit closer when it drops.
Yeah. I was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me. 3 deep and I'm finna have the pole on me. Watch your tone, nigga, better watch your tone with me. Listen to these melodies, I'm feeling like a scholar. Hold up, I know your bitch finna holler. Hold up.
Fire. All right, great. So now you get an idea of how it sounds. I think it sounds pretty dope. You can let me know how you think it sounds, but I think it sounds good. All right, so let's dive into it. First, we're going to the ARC compressor. Actually, technically, first we're doing auto-tune, and we're doing a -8 retune speed. Don't think you need to max out your auto-tune when you're doing it. I mean, challenge yourself to hit the notes a little bit, and then kind of just use a looser setting. 8's still kind of high, but it's not maxed out, and a lot of times you can get away with it. So yeah, a lower, like 8 to 6, I think, or 6 to maybe like 15 is a good range to try to dial your auto-tune in. All right, cool. So first we're going into ARC compressor with, for some reason, I did a ratio of 1.3, which just like doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's a very small amount of compression, but I guess it's leveling it just a little bit. But I'll just go ahead and walk through the chain as we do it. Bypass these guys here. Hope everybody's having a good day. All right, cool. So I'll play it right here and we'll hear what this sounds like.
I was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me.
Very small adjustment, but it sounds good, so I'm just going to rock with it. Normally that ratio is going to be a little higher, but it's whatever. It sounds good, so I'm not even going to be pressed about it. I'm going to adjust the volume accordingly because like a lot of these plugins are adding volume. So next we have the SSL channel. And so what we got going on here, we have a low cut, a little bit of a high cut, high boost around 8K, a little mid-range boost, and a little mid-range dip. Or this is like upper mids. And then down here we have a little low shelf, which I normally do a low shelf around 200 a lot on the SSL channnel. Yeah, so we got to bypass this, see if you can hear the difference.
I was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me. 3 deep and I'm finna have the pole on me. Watch your tone, nigga, better watch your tone with me.
Honestly, I think that makes a massive difference. It takes what sounds like kind of like a muffled vocal and just gives it air and a little bit of like breathing room, in my opinion. It brightens it up a little bit with that high shelf. It's slight, but it does help. And it is important to, like, right out the gate, you don't want to just start changing the sound of the recording. Like, you want to see what you can do with this recording to make it sound a little bit better before you start coloring it and trying to find a taste for the song. All right, so next we have the Q3, great EQ. It's a multi-band EQ, so you can, like, use dynamic EQ. So you can use, like, the dynamic function by pulling that down, which will duck the frequencies even more as they happen. So if one part he's singing really high, but then he gets really low and up close and it's super boomy, then the boominess will get brought down. But I'm actually not using the dynamic aspect of this EQ at all. I'm just doing my cuts with it. It's a great EQ for cutting, mainly because you can just double tap here. Boom. You get your filter, or if you just go over here, shelf automatically. And it's just super easy to use. You hold command, you just have your bums. You can solo the bands instantly. Great EQ.
I was in the trap house.
Let's see what it sounds like. This is off.
Was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili.
On.
Was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't.
Once again, just takes away the boxiness, opens the vocal up a little bit more. And as you take away from the vocal, just know that beat's coming through now. So the beat's hitting harder because the vocal's not on top of it. So it's a balance game. It really is. Next is my favorite plugin ever, the TubeTech CL1B model. Is the actual TubeTech compressor that is used on a lot of vocals. This compressor is awesome. You can really have that attack and release set near anywhere, and you can make it work with this compressor. I don't know what it is, but it's super musical. It feels really good. This is one of the only compressors where I'm not afraid to use a fast attack. A lot of compressors, I'm like, ugh, a little weird with the fast attack, but this one, you can make it sound really good. Let's see how it's changing the sound of it now.
Was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me. 3 deep and I'm finna have the...
Great. It's hitting the transients really well. It's making it really tight. Feels really good. And
was in the trap house shooting like
it's hitting like -3, -5. Doing its job. Love this compressor. Love this plugin. Soft 2 makes really good stuff, and it just looks good too. And next we have Arvox, which for this I'm really just using it as a way to bring the vocal a little bit more forward.
Was in the trap house shooting like,
and it's adding some volume too, so I'm going to bring this volume down.
was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me. 3 deep and I'm finna have the pole on me. Watch your tone, nigga, better watch your tone with me. Listen to these melodies, I'm feeling like...
So definitely don't have to have the Arvox for this one. I do like how it sounds, but this is just something where like you never want to mix just to make like stuff louder, and that's what like a lot of people do with compressors is like they just use them to make something louder rather than just turning it up. So like here I'm gonna try to play it with the Arvox matched with the volume of it without the Arvox. So here is without Arvox.
Was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me.
Here's with Arvox, but I'm gonna bring it back down because it's adding volume.
Was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me. 3 deep and I'm finna have the pole on me. Watch your tone, nigga, better watch your tone with me.
Yeah, so I do like it. Like I said, it brings it up front a little bit, but not necessary at all. Here with the Slate stuff, we're pretty much just running it through the virtual channel and then just doing a little bit more EQ. Now, since we're later on in the chain, we're later on in the game here, the EQ adjustments you make are going to be a little bit more dramatic because you're dealing with the more compressed flat signal. The earlier adjustment in the EQ, you don't really notice as much because there's not a lot of processing happening. So now that there's more processing, the EQ is going to be a little bit more dramatic.
Was in the trap house shooting. Was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me. 3 deep and I'm finna have the...
So that's really only a -2 dB shelf at 100, and you can really hear that it does open up the vocal.
Was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me. 3 deep and I'm finna have the pole on me.
It is kind of slight. Maybe it's not as dramatic as I made it out to be, but I hear it. But yeah, I do like shelves a lot, especially with vocals, mainly because you don't want to just take away the low end of a vocal. You just want to turn it down and let the beat have it, because the beat is going to be more dominant regardless, so don't even try to play that war with it. And then next is a plugin I don't really use that much, but for Guwop's voice, it sounds really, really good. It adds a nice crispiness to an already full voice. And so I have it at 16 with the bandwidth all the way at the top, and this adds like a really crazy like sparkle to the vocal.
Was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me. 3 deep and I'm finna have the pole on me. Watch your tone, nigga.
Then I'm doing a little low boost to give it a little bit of oomph, a little bit of boom at the low end. It's probably not as noticeable.
Was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me. 3 deep.
This plugin's really dope. If you have it, I would play with it. And it's one of those plugins too. Once you know how it sounds, like I knew exactly what I was going to do with this plugin before I even loaded it up, because I knew that trick with the 16. I think Meek Mill's engineer said that he does that on Meek Mill's vocals, and if you listen to Meek stuff, you can definitely hear it. Sounds great though, and it does make vocals cut really nice in a mix. And finally, our good friend the de-esser. Hopefully he's not hitting crazy. I play myself a fool, but I doubt he is.
Was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me.
Great. It's hitting on the S's, the T's, anything that's making a noise, doing its job. Great. So there is the chain. We're going to go into the sends and the ad-libs and the master, and then we're done. All right. So parallel compression, doubler, effects, color. This is just a flanger that I'm not even using, so that's off. Doubler just makes the vocal wider.
Was in the trap house shooting like
I have that going a little bit.
Was in the trap house shooting like
That's something that I don't want people to notice, so I keep it pretty low, probably even lower than that. All right, then we have a reverb, which I think I'm just using Valhalla. Yep.
Was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me.
And then color is just the exciter, which I've showed people before, but this is all it is. It just adds brightness, and I'll max it up a little bit so you can hear exactly what it's doing.
Was in the trap house shooting like Ginobili. Hell no, nigga, you can't even smoke with me. 3 deep and I'm finna have the pole on me. Watch your tone, nigga.
Fire. There it is. All right, and then, so normally a little trick that I do in Pro Tools, once I get the lead vocal sounding good, I would duplicate the bus like so. And now I have all those settings chilling exactly how they were, and I can just reroute this stuff. So once I have a good lead vocal sound, I can just have my ad-libs go to this, and now my ad-libs sound just as good as my lead vocal, but now I can affect the ad-libs to make them different. So that's pretty much what I did, and here's the ad-lib track. All I really did was add this chorus. I do like chorus on ad-libs to make them sound cool, and it kind of just puts them in a different sound field of the mix, I feel like. It just adds a different phase to it. And then EQ-wise, let me see. I took away the high shelf, and I'm getting a phone call. I got a phone call in the middle of that. My bad. Anyway, so back to the ad-libs. I got to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, by the way. Omer's been blowing me up. No, I'm kidding. He didn't blow me up, but he just called me one time. So with the ad-libs, I pretty much just high shelf and probably a mid-range boost somewhere. Please be a mid-range boost somewhere so I don't... All right, yeah, right there. Haha. So that's where I have the ad-libs hitting. And then pretty much everything's the same. There might be a little bit more reverb on them. Yeah, just a little bit more reverb.
Was in the I was in the trap.
So that's how the ad-libs sound. Song's super fire. All right, and then finally, we're going to go to the master. Real simple, Q8 with these turned down to -4 over here. Some little EQ adjustments, nothing crazy. The only time I really EQ my master is if I'm dealing with the 2-track. But I try to be very tasteful with the EQ.
Hit 'em head to toe, no, they don't want that. Who's that? Young nigga just in that all black. No man's lucky on me going red, tat, tat, tat. I was in the trap house shoot.
A little brightness boost. This right here is the Slate Digital mastering console. I have the compressor turned off. It's probably hitting
head to toe, no, they don't want that. Who's that?
-11, and then to final it off, kind of glue everybody together, bring them in place, is the L2.
Hit 'em head to toe, no, they don't want that. Who's that? Young nigga just in that all black. No man's like.
Boom. L2 is doing its job, and let's look at the final metering, which is, I don't recommend using this. I'm just not evolving right now when it comes to what meter plugin I use, but -8 to -9 is what I shoot for. So let's see what we're hitting.
Hit 'em head to toe, no, they don't want that. Who's that? Young nigga just in that all black. No man's lucky on me going red, tat, tat, tat. I was in the trap.
Great. -8's to peak, so that's perfect. Yeah, but that is inside this mix right here. This song is called Ginobili by Guwop. The description will be in the video. The song link will be in the description of the video. And then on top of that, I'll have my website where you can get vocal chains for waves, and there's even a Logic stock vocal chain that you can purchase on my website. There's also beats too. And then feel free to follow me on Instagram @Neek. Mixing Monday Live. Best day of the year. We get it once a week. Hell yeah. This mic sounds sick. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you all think. I'm going to try to be a little bit better about these uploads, but I thought this was a really cool mix to do. It's a great song. Enjoy. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, wherever you are, and I will see you all probably on Monday when I go live at 6 p.m. California time. Peace.